All right, moving on with our Wes Craven-a-thon. It's been a little while, but we watched this a little while ago and just haven't gotten to it. So this is Night Visions, his last TV movie, and this stars James Remar, and he plays a cop who is teamed up with a psychic, and they're investigating murders. And so Kaylee and I both had the same reaction to this movie. Like the first 15 minutes of this movie, I legit thought we were gonna be like we were gonna be uncovering this hidden gem to share with you guys and be like, oh my god, no one ever talks about this film, because 15 minutes in I was already convinced this was gonna be my favorite movie he'd ever directed because of how ludicrous James Remar's character is in this movie and how much he just dials it to a 700.
Yes, 800 even.
I thought I took notes on this one, but I can't find them, so we're just gonna wing it. And it's been a week since we watched it,
Yeah.
and we've watched 100 movies since.
100.
We've watched probably 15.
Yeah.
So yeah. And the last one we just watched was 3 hours long. So I got a lot getting in the way. Doesn't matter. So what I do really remember is just he his attitude in this movie almost reminds me of the ridiculousness of a Blood Diner character.
Yeah.
Where it's just so grossly over the top. You know the scene in Blood Diner when the detective says something to the police chief and the police chief just hits him in the gut for no reason at all.
Yeah.
And then he says something again later and he tries to do it again and the guy ducks and he's like, oh, not this time.
Yes.
It's that level of just ridiculousness where I was just
is.
Okay, there's a scene in this that has made it now into Kaylee and I's vocabulary on a daily basis. And they're in the police car and they're driving. And, they're driving to a crime scene or something. And he's driving really fast. And he's being psychotic.
So psycho.
And she's essentially asking him if he should be calling for backup. But she says, aren't you going to call for help? And he instantly, just at the top of his lungs, screams help.
It was so funny when we saw it. It's because it's so
unexpected. It caught me so hard. It's so unexpected.
It was so funny. And then the rest of that car ride, he is driving like a maniac. Yeah. And he gets to this gated community, and there's people jogging, and he's like, why are you running if you haven't committed a crime? And we were just
and he's screaming this out the window at them.
He's so intense, but the unfortunate part is that that's it. The rest of the movie, he totally mellows out, and instead the psychic woman that he's paired up with goes batshit. And she gets really weird, but not as
She's nowhere
funny.
near as entertaining.
No. So we were disappointed in
Their
that.
roles just completely flip.
They totally
right?
flip.
He is the loose cannon. He's the stereotypical loose cannon detective who's living on the edge, very much like Colt in Loaded Weapon, Part 1, the National Lampoon's movie I mention all the time. But it is that stereotype that are in these movies. And he's just he's got the death wish.
Yeah.
He is ready to fight anybody at any moment. He pulls guns on everyone.
Everyone.
He pulls guns in crime scenes and just holds it to people's heads. And you're like, what is happening? This guy would be off the force in 1 second flat or dead.
Yeah.
But I was completely on board with it from the get-go. So I was and it sucks because she's super straight-laced and boring, and you're like, okay, she's gonna be the straight man to his, bad cop, right? Bad cop, good cop. She's gonna be like, oh, don't you think we should go by the book?
But no.
And he just grabs a book and beats someone to death with it. And he's like, there, I went by the book. That would be the kind of expectation that this film is going for in the beginning. But it's like, as soon as she takes on... So what happens is she takes on, like, the personalities of the victims before or after their death. Like one of them is like dead. The aerobics instructor, I think, is already dead by the point she takes over for her. I
can't tell. I don't know if it's like she dies. I can't tell, but it's very close to either when they're dying or dead.
This reminds me very, very heavily of iZombie. When she eats someone's brains in that show, she becomes them basically to get glimpses into their memory in order to solve their crime. And this is something kind of similar. She takes on their personality traits and she like has their abilities, right? She's like an aerobics instructor. She goes to this random aerobics place. And plus she can like see the future or the past, where she like... There's weird moments where she comes into a place and she walks by girls who are saying something and then she repeats it.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be coming from some psychic place, but that's the first time you see it. So I'm like, at first I was like, why is she repeating the things those girls are saying? Is she just mocking them?
Right.
But then later I was like, wouldn't it make more sense if she said it before they said it, and then she walked in and they said it? But then the next time it happens, she says it, and then the people say it after her. Then she walks by, and he's like, how'd you do that? And I was like, wait, why did you say it after them when you were right next? She literally walks in front of them as they're saying it, then repeats it, and then it's like played like she's psychic. And I'm like, anybody could do that. I could do that.
Anyone could. Yeah, it's true. You make a good point. I don't know why it's like that. I have no answer.
It's almost like they played the scene backwards. Yeah,
kind of. I don't know. I thought that her character was very odd, for sure. I had, like the first half, or the first 15 minutes, as we were saying, with this movie, I thought was really entertaining because it seemed like it was going to be so crazy. But, I don't know. I guess it's not a horrible movie, but I definitely lost a bit of my steam watching it because it felt like, I don't know, it just felt like every time she was going into her like multiple personality thing, even though they were different characters, it kind of felt redundant in a way. Yeah. If that makes sense. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was her performance, like maybe that might have been part of it, or the writing, like some combination of it. But I kind of was just, like, over it after the second one. Yeah.
I just think, like, probably my main issue outside of, like, I wish his character stayed ridiculous until the end, and then maybe, like, found compassion or whatever, and was like, she's my partner, right? Because that's what they keep kind of going through, is like, you ain't my partner, until it's like, all right, you're my partner. Which is the Lethal Weapon trope, right? The buddy cop thing. But like, I actually quite liked the movie. But she is the like weakest link of the movie for sure. I didn't dislike her, right? I thought she was fine. It's just that like, there's no development between him and her. And he goes from like psychopath to like, I want to like help her, and I'm like totally like on the level now. Yeah. For no reason. Like, so fast. Nothing happens between them. There's no romance going on between them, right? They could have went down that avenue. He was falling for her or something. No, she's into some other guy who, spoilers, ends up being the killer, which I called really early on. But it's just the development between them that I was like, I never understood why he changed. It just kind of seemed like there was only enough crazy in the world for one of them. Right, like they couldn't... And she was like, there, there's too much crazy in this town for one of us, or whatever.
Can't exist in the same space.
No, like Time Cop.
Yeah.
The balance of the scales was like normal, boring, and then this. Now, Ramar never was boring in the movie. He just brought it down. And he was still kind of high-strung. He was like a normal high-strung.
Right. He wasn't the psychotic from earlier in the film.
But that's not to say that there isn't still really funny scenes, because there's a scene where he goes up against like a bouncer at this like high-end party that he's trying to get into. The exchanges between him and this big buff dude, that had me crying. Like, I seriously thought that was so funny. He's like trying all the tricks. He's like, your shoelace is untied. And he's like, nope. Literally, he just is like, nope. And then he's like, the house is on fire. And he's like, it's insured. That shit had me dead. And then he told him to like turn around. He's like, what do you think? I'm stupid? And he's like, and then he turns around. There's like 6 other buff guys behind him. And he's like,
all pointing guns at him.
Yeah, they all had drawn guns on him.
Yes, that was so
that
funny.
Was ludicrous. But yeah, this is a fun movie. I definitely recommend it. It's on YouTube, and I really would love, I would love a company like a Vestron or a freaking whoever, it doesn't matter, name one of them, to release a Blu-ray set of all 4 of his television movies.
Yeah.
In one collected
It would be
set.
so nice to have better quality, because this is another one that we watched on
YouTube,
and
it's the only place you can find it.
Was awful looking.
Yeah.
And that sucks so bad. It's so annoying to watch it in that quality. So it would be great to have higher versions of them.
Oh yeah, I would definitely pay like $30-$40 for like a set of, all 4 of these made-for-TV films, Summer of Fear, and even Chiller. I mean, as shitty as it is, I think that with a proper cleanup in audio and video, it'd be okay. It'd be watchable. It still wouldn't be great by any means, but I'd probably give it another watch if it was like super clean.
I guess I would too.
And then Visions of Evil? Is that or no, right? Isn't that what it's called? The other TV movie we watched?
Dark Visions, this one? Night Visions?
No, Night
Dark
Visions. What am I mixing up? No, the one with the...
Deadly Blessing?
No, that's not the TV movie.
TV?
No, the one with the family in the neighborhood. And the chick like points and the window explodes and the cab driver dies, or limo driver dies. How the hell are we not?
I don't remember. That's so funny.
It's not Visions of Evil?
It might be. I don't remember.
Wow. See how many freaking movies we watched during this?
I don't remember. But
yeah, it's a fun movie. I just really wish that they had I don't know, like Invitation to Hell.
Oh, Invitation to Hell.
Visions of Evil. What am I thinking?
I don't know. This is Night Visions.
I'm mixing something up.
I don't know. Invitation to Hell. Right. Yeah. I would love to have a better version of all this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that they needed to there should have been more, like, his change should have been earned.
The captain in this is Skinner again, or Horace Pinker.
Yeah.
It was cool to see him, but he was throwing on this really weird accent.
Yeah.
That I was like, Mitch, you're not landing this one.
He wasn't in a lot of the scenes, but enough that you're like, that accent.
It was not good. Sherry Palmer from 24 and Hills Have Eyes Part 2, her real name is Penny Johnson. It was cool to see her back since she is in Hills Have Eyes Part 2. And Wes Craven's daughter is in this as a nurse. She's been in a few of his things. As in New Nightmare, she really changed it up and played a nurse as well. I think she's a nurse in this. Oh no, she's just woman number 1. I I thought she was a nurse in this. I think maybe I'm just confusing it with the performance that she did in New Nightmare. I'm very confused tonight. That's what happens when you put too much time. I wanted to record this right after we reviewed it, but someone's usually tired and we can't do it.
That wasn't on me.
No?
Probably not. Not this time.
Probably not?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with
this
100.
Time, no.
Yeah, no.
It was a mutual decision.
Okay. Whatever she says is good with me.
What?
Yeah, I can't say it enough, and this will be the last time I say it. So I guess I can't say it enough. I'm going to say it one more time, and that is just James Remar stays dialed to like 11 until the movie is like 5. Even to the credits, this would be fine with me. But like, if you have to have that like moment where he's like, "All right, you're my partner," I really just wish he could have stayed. And the like police work in this. Like when they go into the crime scene and they're just like touching shit and like he's throwing things around. He's like
licking stuff.
Well, he like sniffs something.
He
sniffs hair of the freaking of the dead body, and I was like
licks something, and it was like, and then she when he like turns around and she's like all of a sudden in the outline of the body thrashing around. I was just like, what is she doing?
Yeah, because the killer was like compiling pictures of dead bodies to make a collage.
Pictures and body parts.
Yeah.
Or, body parts too. Mm-hmm. Wasn't it? Because he was actually, or was it just the pictures? Now I'm like,
just the pictures. I don't remember him taking any body parts.
It's like, it's like that movie, that new one on Netflix that I can't remember the name where they put the body parts.
We're terrible.
We're really bad at this one.
We're really bad.
Anyway, we like movies.
We do.
We are serious about liking movies. And we know the names of at least 2.
At least. Maybe 3. But none of the ones we're reviewing. I'm not going to lie. We had to look up the title of the film before.
Yeah, we were calling it... He called it Darkness.
I called it like...
You said Darkness, and then I don't know what Valley of Darkness.
Valley of Darkness.
Yeah. So.
Which, of course, is like through the Valley of Darkness, like from The Last of Us too.
Oh yeah.
That's where I was in
That's
my
where
head.
you were.
I'm in Last of Us land.
Mm-hmm.
I watch like 50 videos on it a day. That's all I care about right now. I don't give a shit about some 1990 TV movie that Wes Craven did when he was fucking drunk and like completely probably doesn't even remember it. I mean, now he's dead, so he doesn't remember anything. But
or maybe he does.
Maybe he does. I don't fucking know. What do I know? Yeah, I don't. I'm trying to remember anything else that really sticks out. That I really wish I would have had notes on this one.
Yeah.
Because there were moments that I remember being like, "What?" Just a lot of ridiculous shit.
Yes.
Like,
for sure.
Certain things are coming to me, and then I'm like, not 100% on that.
When she's at the friend's brother or ex-boyfriend's, I still was never really sure whose apartment. Yeah, the motorcycle in the apartment.
Inside the apartment.
That was.
And then she rides off on it.
Yeah.
It's hard because the image is so shitty. I can barely tell what anybody looks like. But she does go through a lot of different looks in the movie.
Yeah, she does.
She's able to pull off a lot of different like hairstyles with such short hair.
It's true. Yeah, that is true.
Like her hair looks so different a few different times.
Yeah.
And when she does like the biker slick back kind of shit, she looked way more attractive than the rest. Like when she was just kind of normally, the way she normally looked, she was just kind of unremarkable and was just kind of there. And then she did like the leather scene with like the slick back hair and everything. I was like, whoa, she looked like Jamie Lee Curtis in True Eyes.
Yeah,
that scene doing her dance
was really. There was a couple weird stuff I think in that scene, like the guy when she walks in and he's like, what did he do? Was he trying to like give her a drink or something? It wasn't a drink. It was something, I don't know. I don't remember it entirely, and obviously you don't either. So, but that whole sequence was kind of funny.
The worst review.
Yep.
Ever. This is why we got to do them sooner, and my notes need to be taken.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I mean, honestly, even if I had my notes, my sentiments would be the same. Keep James Remar at an 11, and this movie would be, I'd be freaking remembering everything about this, because every line that he says, every moment that he has, those are the only things worth remembering. That's why they've already been flushed from our mind.
Right.
Right? James Remar, every single thing he does in this film, I remember pretty much, like, verbatim.
Yeah.
And everything else in the film I could give a fuck about.
That's
it. Well, the accent that Skinner gives. I was like, what the hell is that? So that's that.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
All right.
Bye. Sorry.